I don't know. Did it work? We'll see. We're gonna sit up here. Yeah, okay. It looks
I
like it's
think it's
moving and
working.
shaking. Hey! Hey,
Yay!
sorry for everyone who got kicked out and had to come back. As Bucho has indicated, Streamlabs is a hoe. Now, thank you so much, Booch. Can you hear me? I'm gonna wait for chat before we even start getting into some damn copy. Bucho, can you hear
Hmm.
us? I'm going to assume that he can. Sounding and looking good. Okay, Scott and
Excellent.
Graham, can you guys be heard? Let's try that.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
absolutely fine. I can hear you.
Son of a.
I knew you were going to do that. Yes, yes, I'm here too.
He did it with such a smile too. I really hate him.
Oh,
Hi
it's
everyone, and welcome back to the Symphony, where Streamlabs is a whole. Bridgett doesn't know how to do technology, and somehow we find this weird intersection where we tell really horrible and horrific stories together. Guys, Symphony Entertainment, Gaming, and Arts is my gaming company that focuses on horror systems, indie games, organic content, and player agency in an attempt to bring a symphonic approach to horror role playing. We are back with our annual, and I am saying that with my whole chest out because Graham has made it so, our annual Symphony Halloween Sonata. If you guys are not familiar with our sonatas, these are 60 minutes of fully improvised horror. Graham, our conductor, will be taking suggestions from the audience. He may tee some things up. The audience is more than welcome to throw things uninvited. And then collectively, we're going to tell this story together. Guys, this is our third year doing it, if you can believe. The first year, the loose theme was, Graham, what was that first one? It was fire, right? For
It's
fireworks?
fire. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Fire, fire.
Fire. First year was fire. That episode is on YouTube currently. And I remember sitting across from Scott for an entire hour thinking to myself, I actually can't keep up with this man in horror. And it was such an amazing experience because I was so unsettled and delighted through that entire episode. And then the next year we did Ice.
Ice, I think. Yeah.
We did ice, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And just to set this up for the chat, we did this all from suggestions. So in a
Yep.
moment, I'm going to turn and say, give me suggestions about a starting scene. So yeah, just so
Get
you're
ready,
ready.
guys. Get your starting scene ready because we don't have era, we don't have characters, we don't even have a location. The most we have is Graham teed up a few more environmental suggestions. We took it to the Symphony Patreon backers, and Sky won by like over 50%. So whatever is going on, it has something to do with Sky. But I'm going to leave that to Graham's interpretation and to the chat's interpretation because this is not my story. Not yet, at least not until I sink my teeth in it. So, last thing, guys, if you like this content, if you'd like to help us make more of it, please consider backing us on Patreon at patreon.com/Symphony Entertainment. We're going to do some very quick introductions right after I address the safety tools. You guys knew this was coming. So, we have two safety tools that we use here on the Symphony. We have the X card. X's can be sent via private message, or they can be done visibly on screen where Graham can see them. We will also be using the red, yellow, green traffic light method, which can be called by any cast member or any chat member at any time. If a safety tool is activated, Graham knows what he's doing. We will address and correct from there, but there are no questions asked and there is no judgment passed. With that being said, Graham, very briefly, please hit us with an introduction.
Hi, I'm. This is introducing me. Am I? Am I
Yeah.
introducing me or? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hi, I'm Graham. I'm probably best known as the author of Cthulhu Dark and Cosmic Dark, which has just come out. You can find me on social media and places, and patreon.com/Graham and places like that.
How did you get Patreon/Graham? Like, I hate that the universe was that kind to you. How did you do that?
A long time ago.
God, I hate you. Scott, hit us, baby.
Yes, hi, I'm Scott. I've written a bunch of stuff for Call of Cthulhu and other horror games, including Cthulhu Dark. And I do a lot of podcasting, primarily with the good friends of Jackson Elias. And I'm a regular cast member on Ain't Slayed Nobody, How We Roll, and Grizzly Peaks Radio. Yes, representing.
Yeah, representing. Cup paid me in dinner to wear this shirt. Tapa specifically, as a matter of fact. So yes. We'll wear your brand for food. Okay. Without further ado, guys, welcome to the Symphony, and thank you for joining us for our third annual Halloween Symphony Sonata. Graham, we are in your hands.
Let's do it. So we haven't got characters ready, and what we've done every year is just sort of improvise from a starting scene. So we did fire the first year, we did ice the second year, and our theme for this year is sky. So can you just set me up? I'm talking mainly to chat here. With a scene involving sky, something like that.
Oh,
And yeah, so airplane horror. Yeah,
Mm.
I wondered if that would come up. What else have we got? We got oh my god, my eyesight is going. Passenger jet, endless sky and endless meadows. Oh, I'd
Mm.
love a lighthouse.
oh, a lighthouse. Somebody throw out a
Mm.
lighthouse is
Oh
good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, hot air
Yes,
balloon
air
is something I
balloon.
haven't seen in horror yet.
Yeah. The thing about the lighthouse is, I'm so stuck on the lighthouse now because, like earlier, I
Mm.
was thinking, what's going to come up? Is it going to be sky? And I was thinking big wilderness,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought, I bet someone will do aeroplane as well. And so
Yeah.
my brain was already to yeah, Skyfall. Right, yeah, we'll just do Bond one. Um, and my brain was already ticking on that, but lighthouse, I
Mm.
absolutely love. Let's do Lighthouse. Let's do
Okay.
it.
Oh.
But I don't think do Lighthouse Keeper. I'm just going to start with, yeah, let's do this. Okay. When I came back to Withering, I remember the sky. I remember it endless above me. It, the sea reflects it as well. So if you look over the grey sea, it never really seems to quite meet the sky. They just blur together in the mist. And I remember years later when I came back, the plane touched down. And before I even went back to my family house, I went to the old lighthouse where we used to play. And I stood at the shore and I looked up at it and I said,
Did this did this thing used to work? I remember. I'm sure I remember a light from it.
every night from my bedroom, I used to look out and imagine I saw a light playing across the water. And then we'd go and investigate it the next day. And it just seemed as old and broken as it ever was. It was time for me to go back home. And so I turned away from the lighthouse and went back to the house where I grew up. And I knocked on the door. And I knew who was going to answer.
The one of us that stayed behind. The one that we chose to stay. The one that agreed to stay. The one who wouldn't abandon the lighthouse. Our sibling.
And my sister opened the door. And there we were. It was the first time we'd seen each other for, how long was it? 10 years? More than that? She said what I expected she'd say. I knew there'd be a silence. But then I knew she would say,
Uh,
Oh, I love that you have us both shell shocked right now. This is absolutely stunning.
yeah.
I almost want to go with welcome home. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to stop overthinking this. Welcome home. You've been missed.
Is it really home anymore? It hasn't been home for a long time.
we walked into the old kitchen. There were some changes. I saw them as I looked around.
You haven't let this place go a bit. I the paint's peeling. I, and I mean, why is that window boarded up?
It was the window we used to look out at the old lighthouse. You couldn't see the lighthouse from here now.
Did something happen? Well, am I in my old room? Or is that unusable as well? Oh.
She gave me a look, and I took my bags to my room. I looked around. It looked as it always had, but she'd obviously taken care of it over the years. I sensed her looking behind me as I unpacked my things.
What aren't you telling me? Why didn't you reach out sooner?
Well, you know why. You know why. I didn't want to come back any more than you wanted me to come back, but you know why I had to indicate out the window.
My eyes flicker towards the window, but what are windows in a house like this but mirrors? That's just not a reflection that I want to encounter. So my eyes drift and flicker that direction, but they resettle before I can engage further.
Mm. Do you still visit the old place?
I do. It's different, but it's always the same.
I don't want to go back there. I don't. But I suppose we better.
The silence lengthened. I unpacked my things, and then we ate together. She poured me a glass of the sweet red wine that she has always I loved, and I never got to taste for. And she cooked me some stew, and I have to say it was delicious and made me think of home.
Yeah, it's funny. I've I've forgotten what this tasted like. I've forgotten almost everything about this house. But I just can't stop thinking about. Well, I can't stop thinking about. Point towards the boarded up window. And I guess you can't either.
That's a window I can look at because there's a division there. There's a barrier.
But
If you could see beyond it right now, from what you remember, what color would the sky be?
at this time of night, slate. Why isn't it?
My gaze shifts from the boarded up window back down to the familiar stew that tastes like home, but this doesn't feel like home. And somehow I have to reconcile that. And I'll just do that one spoonful after the other in silence.
Look, I know you aren't going to want me to ask this, but if you don't want to look out, if you board the window up, if you don't even want to think about it, I saw what your face was like upstairs with the window there. If you don't even want to think about it, why do you still live here? You could have sold this place ages ago. You could have moved on. You could have made a new life for yourself elsewhere. We've had our differences, but I could have helped you with that. But you stayed. This was a decision.
It was our decision, though, wasn't it?
It wasn't mine. I made my decision.
I'll make you a second bowl.
Anything
We
except
didn't
for
walk out to the
talking.
lighthouse that night. We thought about it, but it was too soon. And we woke up and went our separate ways in the morning. I walked into town. And the shops were there just the same as always, and the faces. I wondered where I'd go.
I went to there's a shop I don't remember there that sells I guess artworks and curios and little knickknacks that people have made, and I wasn't going to go in, but there was a painting in the window, a painting of the lighthouse that looked like it captured what we'd see from the house.
It's beautiful,
That-
isn't it? Said a voice behind me.
That can't be right. Who painted this?
You should come in. Come in. And the lady opened the door to me. I could see her. I could see the light playing over her hair as though it was illuminated. Although the shop seemed to be dark inside. Inside, I could see the picture even more clearly.
But who painted this? I know my sister didn't, and I certainly didn't. So, who painted this?
Look at the signature, she said.
I can't read that.
I'm surprised you don't recognize it. But you don't use that name anymore, do you?
I did not paint this. I didn't. So, if someone's saying that I did, someone's lying to you. Someone's lying to you.
She became professional again and smiled at me. If you don't want the painting, is there anything else you'd like? She looked round at the knickknacks. I saw these caught your eye.
Yeah, that little clay sculpture. It it looks like the house. Again, but no, I'm sorry. I don't want to be rude here, but how
You
would
can't
you
be
feel?
rude to me.
Watch
Everything
me.
here is. Everything here is yours in one way or the other.
No. I don't know what your game is. No, and just turn and storm out of the shop and slam the door behind me, bell tinkling.
I walked back fast to my sister's, who was already cooking breakfast. She didn't eat meat, but she was making eggs and bread, which she fried and put in front of me. She frowned at me.
You're back early.
That curio shop in town. Have you been selling things there? Have you been selling our things?
Why do you ask?
Because there are things in there that don't belong there.
There are things in here that don't belong here.
Are you angry that I came back?
Yes. I feel wounded.
Are you angry because I left or angry because I came back?
I think I wince as I roll the sausage back and forth in a very, very, very old cast iron skillet. I remember how she likes her sausage cooked. I remember how she prefers her eggs. I remember how she takes her coffee. Some things never really change. But then everything changes. And I don't answer that question. Because deep down inside, I think you know.
Right. If it makes you feel better, I don't want to be here any more than you want me here. So, should we get it over with? Shall we? We've got to do it sooner or later. We've got to go down there and let's just get it over with today.
We didn't have much hope of finding a buyer for the lighthouse. It didn't seem the thing that people would buy. But we hoped that maybe someone would. We walked down there and looked out over the grey slate sea. At first I thought I heard something roaring, but then realised it was just the sea beneath me, crashing on the stony beach.
I'm surprised it's still standing.
I nod as I look up at the lighthouse, but I know better than to make eye contact with it.
Have you been inside recently?
There are times that I think I have. You know what it takes. You know what it can take.
The door was swollen, but gave way when I pushed it. There was dust inside, but there were a set of footprints. Obviously she had been here, whether she knew it or not. It was exactly the same as when we used to play here as children, and I found my feet ascending the stairs automatically.
It still smells the same. I don't know why I thought anything would be different, but it's all just the same. You think someday some friendly storm would just come in off the sea and blow all this away.
The smell was a thing I could never explain, a smell of rotting animals that had got in here and never been cleaned out, a smell of dust and death.
Is that what you really want? Is that what you've dreamed of? A storm coming through and sweeping all of this away from us? From you?
Or maybe if I knew it was gone for good, I could stop dreaming of it.
So you do think about it. You do dream about it, even when you're away.
I I don't try to think about it. I don't want to think about it, but y- you know what it's like, don't you? You know, it's always there.
I'd never shared the dreams, but with her I felt I could.
You know, I mean, the dreams. I mean, the dreams. In the dreams, the lighthouse is always lit. There's always a beam coming off it, and you know, you know the old stories about the lighthouse. Yeah, you remember. I mean, you heard them growing up the same as I did. The stories of how the wreckers would snuff it out, and there'd be the shipwrecks on the rocks at night, and you could hear the screams and wails of the dead for miles around, dead and dying. But in the dreams, it's that's not the worst part. The worst part is when it's lit, when the beam's coming out, the beam that's supposed to warn ships away, warn things away. It's not a lighthouse anymore. It's a beacon. It's drawing them in.
It's an invitation.
Yeah.
There was something in her
You've always
voice when
felt
she said invitation, as though she welcomed it.
you've always felt that too, haven't you?
What's worse for you? The sounds of screaming or the sounds of silence?
I can't remember what silence is like. I think I'd like there to be silence.
I looked at the old light.
How how is this thing still intact? Do you, do you think if we smashed it now, do you think the dreams would stop?
I don't know. I don't know.
I I want to I want to smash it. I want to tear the whole damn thing down. But there's a part of me I don't know. I mean, do you feel that too? That it's that if we smashed it, if we tore the whole thing down, then it'd still be here anyway.
There is something about it that feels older than our ability to just smash it or sell it or tear it down.
I knew in that moment she'd never let it go.
No, 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 no. We can't think like this. We can't. We can't just give up like this. No one's ever going to buy it. Of course, no one's ever going to buy it. Why would anyone want to buy it? Why would anyone want to take this on themselves? But but that doesn't mean we can't do anything. We can we can try. We can try. And with that, I'm going to look around for any bit of detritus, any bit of snap a bit of wood off the banister, a bit of rotten wood, and just start smashing the light.
It felt good. It felt like something I'd wanted to do for years. It broke without too much trouble.
You see, it's only glass. It's only glass and metal.
I felt a warmth on my hand, and I knew I'd cut myself, but it didn't seem to matter.
It's only glass and metal. What have we been afraid of all this time? It's only glass and metal and wood and stone.
I felt empowered. What else could I do here?
You know what we have to do? How much wood do you have back at the house?
Plenty.
We can start tonight.
I'm not sure whether she was helping me that afternoon or just carrying the wood, but she put it around the lighthouse. And then, as the light was dying, we put a light to it. The yellow flickering light flickered on the sea. I couldn't quite work out what the expression was in her eyes.
Is this going to give you peace?
I shake my head slowly as I watch the orange and the yellow and the red. No. And I think you just burned yours as well.
I can't do nothing. I can't. We've tried ignoring it. I've tried running away. You've boarded up the windows. We've tried to pretend for so many years that everything is going to be all right, and it's not. It's not. Even if we're doing the wrong thing, we're doing something.
But we didn't ignore it. You said it yourself that it followed you in dreams. You heard the invitation. You felt the beckoning. You came home. We didn't ignore it. We're not doing anything. You answered that call. That was a choice.
But the choice is what you do when the invitation comes. I could have come back. I could have just moved in again. I could have pretended that everything was going to go on as normal. But no, we're doing something about it now, aren't we? We're doing something about it. We're going to tear all this down. We're going to make it go away, aren't we?
You don't hear yourself. You sound just like you did when you painted that painting the first time.
No, 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 no. I didn't paint anything. I didn't paint anything. Yeah, I didn't paint anything.
It was cold now. It was always cold at this time of year. And we ate in silence that night, and I returned to my room. I could hear a mumbling from next door, though I couldn't quite work out the words.
Are you go to your bedroom door and just tap gently. So you're you're having the dreams as well, aren't you? Are you?
Ooh. The door inches in, and I'm standing before a window that's not boarded, facing down the one thing that both of us refuse to. The words that are spilling from my lips, they're not words. They're almost like the babbling you would get from a newborn, mixed with the whimpering that you feel in grief, crossed with the crying that you would feel in anguish, with just an undercurrent of recognition and delight.
For a moment, she stood illuminated, and then the light moved on.
You felt it, didn't you? It was calling to you.
I smile patiently. She's so close, she just doesn't see it. She just needs. She just needs something more.
If we can't get rid of it, if we can't burn it, if we can't smash it, if we can't sell it,
That's right.
can we
You're so
make
close.
peace with it? Can we make peace with it?
What is peace if not surrender?
No, no, look, I, no, 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 no. We, the, we've got to be able to find. We've got to be able to find a way to. I don't even know what anymore. We've got to be able to. We've just got to be able to find a way. We've got to be able to find a way. And 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 it's no, 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 no. I know it's trying to show us the way. I know it's trying to show us its way, a way, but no. No, we got to.
In fact, at that point, a light did seem to light up the path to the lighthouse.
No, I think I understand now. I think I understand. The lighthouse. It's only really real at night, isn't it? That was stupid what we did earlier. That was stupid trying to deal with it in the daylight. Lighthouses are for the night. That's what they're for. We need to go back there now in the darkness, and deal with it on its own terms.
As she is speaking, my index and my middle finger are tapping a very familiar count. I know the exact cadence of that spinning light. I know when it's going to pass this window again. She's so close. She just needs to be illuminated. And as that counting is happening, as it's counting down almost with the same intensity that my heart is beating, I'm going to make sure that my sister is within that frame of the window right as the next beam passes by.
She moved me over to the window, and then I was illuminated too. I felt the full force of the light sweeping over me. It's hard to describe how I felt.
Is the light always this cold?
Only when you resist it.
And then it paused, showing me the way to the lighthouse again, and the path was illuminated. On the way I could hear human voices. I'm not sure whether they were singing or screaming.
Yes. Yes, yeah, we can go up there. We can go up there now. We can go up there now in the darkness, under the dark sky, and we can find that light, and we can still it at last. We can snuff it at last. And then we'll stop dreaming of it.
The cliff edge always looked different at night. As we walked along it, with the light towards the light, we heard the sounds, we heard the crashing below, and a wailing that seemed to come distant from over the sea, which I'd always thought was air coming through the cliffs. And when we got back to the lighthouse, it looked as pristine as ever, like a lighthouse in a painting, like the one I'd painted. This time the door was open.
Are you ready? You've come so far.
I suppose so. Uh, yes, yes. I'm ready. I'm ready.
She let me go first. The steps seemed pristine, and the smell seemed to be gone this time. There was a smell as though the place had been newly constructed, a smell maybe of stone dust. The edges on the stairs were sharp as I ascended. We got to the top, and there it was, a bright brass lamp, polished, the mirror polished as well, and shining beautifully over the sea.
What do you
I think
feel?
I was right. It was a beacon.
What do you feel?
It's beautiful. Yeah, of course it's beautiful, and it shines so wonderfully. But we have to snuff it out. We have to.
What do you feel?
I I don't know. I know I'm frightened, but who 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 wouldn't be?
But she was right, there was something beneath. I wasn't just frightened.
It it is beautiful. It's this isn't right. The light. Yeah, yes. It's pulling me in, and yes, it's beautiful. But all of this, all of this shouldn't be like this. All of this shouldn't be so lovely, so compelling. I mean, listen, listen from down below. Those are screams, aren't they? Those are the screams of the dying. But even those sound lovely. They shouldn't. We we shouldn't find the screams of the dying so beautiful.
The banister broke off in my hand again.
You said yourself that you haven't heard silence in a long time. What if the beauty of screams is what you're supposed to hear?
What, so that's your answer to this. That's your answer. You boarded up the house. You refused to look out the window to see this, and now your answer to this is for me to accept it?
And I think I slip my fingertips onto your cheeks. I boarded up the windows because this lighthouse doesn't have a face unless you're here with me. And now we can see it together.
And that's your answer to this, that what, I stay here with you, that we listen to this every night, that we feel that cold light and the pull and the draw here. We hear everything that's happening down below, and what we just try to find beauty in that because we can't make it stop. But
There are worse
that's not
things to be haunted by.
no,
And
that's
there
not
is
surrender.
beauty in
That's
this.
madness. That's madness.
She's doing it again. We always get so close, and she does this every time.
And yeah, with that, I take that broken bit of banister and smash the light again.
As I smash the light, the chorus of the dead singing below me rose to a scream. But my sister looked unworried, as though this was merely a phase I was going through, as though she'd come to see the truth eventually. We woke up the next morning, and she made me breakfast as usual, and we didn't talk. And I found myself at the door.
You're leaving then?
I don't know what else to do. Nothing is ever going to change, is it? Nothing's ever going to stop the screams. Nothing's ever going to stop the light. It's going to be that every night again. And you might be able to stay here and deal with that. But I can't. Look. Maybe we've been doing this all wrong. You said that the lighthouse is more real when both of us are here to see its face. But what if neither of us was here to see its face? What if you came with me? What if you just packed a bag now and came away? What if there was just no one left to see it? Maybe it might just wither away and die, forgotten. Maybe it's us who make it real.
Have a safe trip. I'll see you when it calls you back.
I suppose you will.
The lighthouse will always need a witness.
It was 10 years later when my sister died. And when I got the letter, I knew I'd have to return to the house one last time to pack the things. The plane landed and I came to the house and I was surprised by what I saw.
Everything looks so pristine. So did she have the house renovated? Or?
It was the same inside. It was beautiful and white, as though it had just been built. Looking outside, the lighthouse was beautiful too, and the grass on the way was green, and the path looked well kept. I found her skillet, and I cooked myself breakfast. And then when I put it down, I found on the table there was a letter, and I heard my sister's voice as I read it.
The lighthouse will always need a witness. Welcome home.
And with that, I looked at the letter and crumpled it up and threw it in the fire.
And a light.
And then,
Gone, you go.
Hmm?
You go.
and then I waited for dusk.
That's perfect. Let's leave it there.
Oh, wow.
Always leave him laughing.
That was
Oh my
very strange.
God. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Okay.
I should probably have told you. I did. Well, I didn't know I was going to do the whole first person thing, but I feel I was about 2 minutes
No,
into
well.
it. Like, oh my god, that's really hard for them.
Oh, babe. Woo. Okay. Quick question, Scott and Graham. Is there any way we can do the fastest 5-minute talk back ever on this episode? Because I'm gonna need
Sure.
it. Do you guys have 5 minutes to do a talk back? Do you want to do it
Yeah.
live, or do you want to take it off screen and do it Patreon only? I don't care.
No,
I need to talk back.
Let's do it live.
Okay. All right. So, and that, Friends of the Symphony, is where our show ends for tonight. Thank you for joining us for another annual Symphony Halloween Sonata. Graham, wow. Scott, thank you. We hope you've enjoyed the symphony, and I hope you guys have a wonderful night. Because I don't know what just happened to my entire soul. Typically, Symphony does talkbacks on certain content, and it's Patreon only. But Cast has agreed that we're just going to do it live right now, just so Bridgett can absolutely unpack into some of this event that just happened over the last 55 minutes. Okay, Graham, you were getting ready to say something about springing that first-person narrative storytelling style on us. Please talk me through where the hell you came up with that from, and how that felt rolling it out to us in the blind from your perspective.
Oh gosh, I'm not sure I quite meant it to keep going for the whole thing, but once it started, I couldn't stop. I've been reading books. I read a book called The Loney by
Oh yes.
Oh my god, by Andrew Michael Hurley. And so I think that
such a
voice
good
was in
book.
my head, and that's a very kind of describing the landscape. Yeah.
And it was perfect timing for me as well, because I've been reading lots of Daphne du Maurier recently, and this had a real du Maurier vibe to it.
Ooh. Graham, mechanically, if a game doesn't exist with that type of storytelling mechanic or style, that might be worth something for you to develop next. I will throw my entire wallet at that Kickstarter if you do. There's something about that ability to direct a story, but also control the pacing just by jumping in with the first person response. Absolutely brilliant. Oh, God. Chilling, but brilliant.
It weirdly felt a little bit like the structure of a visual novel type computer game, in that you've got a narrative and then you have decision points where you sort of jump in and direct the flow of the narrative and your characters' dialogue choices and stuff like that, and then the narration picks up from that point.
It's a style that puts you on the spot a lot, though, right?
It does.
So, like, I wouldn't run this with strangers, like, because I can only do this by like setting you up massively, and saying, and I knew what she was going to say, and then I just sit here laughing to myself until, no, there's a letter on the table.
And go. Scott, when did the style click for you? Because I'm so used, the last the last stories that I've told with Graham have been Cosmic Dark, which he has this very creative way of introducing characters where he launches with
Yeah.
like something and then just someone commits to it and then that's suddenly their PC. That's what I thought he was doing here. For a minute there, I was like, are we all in this one character's head? Does the sister exist? How many characters are in this scene? It took me about 10 minutes before I finally landed. When did you catch up with the storytelling style?
It did take a few minutes, yeah. It took me longer to realize that I was the sister. Because,
Yeah.
yeah. That was the bit that threw me, because there was a point at which Graham mentioned something about the sister, and I was sitting there waiting for Bridgett to answer, and it was sort of, oh fuck, no, it's me.
It's me.
Right.
I was a bit thrown by the sister thing. So yeah, because before I could, quite definitely refer to sister and brother, but I
Yeah.
was going to do brother, but then it was sister. So yeah, it was cool.
Yeah.
No, that was
Oh
that was
no,
amazing.
it worked. It just threw me for a loop.
Yeah. Well, all three of us kind of held hands and just kind of took the plunge off of the cliff face on that one, which was really cool. I don't know what the hell was happening or where we were building towards or what Graham's vision is ever since he was appointed with Lighthouse. But I just love the mystery and the unsettledness and the combination between lure and repulsion that the sister was going through. Like, Scott, that was so fun for you to dive into. You rode that line so beautifully.
Oh, it was a fun line to ride.
Do you know one really interesting thing is it didn't go dramatic. So I actually thought when you two were on top of the lighthouse at night that one of you will push the other off.
I was thinking about it. I swear I was.
Yeah. I mean, actually, the style makes it a bit difficult, doesn't it? Because you have to sort of, you did do it once or twice, but you'd have to say, and I push her off. But we didn't do that, and I thought it was kind of more unsettling as a result, which is really interesting.
Yeah. No, it didn't feel like that kind of narrative once we were into it. It felt much more nebulous.
Yes.
And yeah, it didn't feel like the kind of story that was going to have a dramatic resolution or really any resolution.
Yeah, the perpetuality. What's the word for it? Never stops. In perpetuity. Is that the word? Is that what I'm going for? I'm tired.
Yeah.
The never-ending aspect of this is what made it especially agonizing for me, because at some point we wove into like this is a circle that they've just been passing each other on again after again after again. I love that even after death, that cycle just continues, or maybe it didn't. I love that it ended at dusk and we don't really know. Yeah. We'll close the talk back out. Highlight moment across the board. And I know we just had it and it was 60 minutes of like really big fire, or sky, I should say. Highlight moments of the game?
Honestly, the way that you picked up and ran with the letter at the end there was, I really appreciate that. That put a bow on it.
I think Graham's decision to kill the sister and the most you received was just this vacancy in this letter that arrives that just notifies you of her passing was just a great chilling point. I could feel the game shift at that moment, and it was in the 11th hour of the game too, but I think the choice to have that sister pass on watch was incredible.
See, I was on your letter as well, so that's what I was going to say. I think there was something about, like, I loved the curio shop, which but I hadn't thought as being particularly mysterious, but every time you kind of described something, it made it weird. I mean, it made it sound like a place which didn't really exist, and we never got to go back there, but it was really cool and interesting.
I'm a big fan of little unresolved, inexplicable things like that in horror. I mean, there's a reason why Robert Aikman is one of my favorite writers, because his work is absolutely full of stuff like that, which, things that make sense on an emotional and thematic level, but make absolutely no narrative sense and never resolved. And as a result, you just walk away from the whole thing all the more unsettled.
Yes.
It did feel to me, I'm trying to think about that. There's a couple of Ramsey Campbell stories which it really felt like Darkest Part of the Woods also has.
Oh yeah.
I mean, just spoiled the whole thing, but also has an ending which involved we're just going to sit here and watch forever.
Oof.
Which is also music of Eric Zahn, Lovecraft. Which I think,
that was in my mind for this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, guys, that was absolutely stellar. Oh, it's great timing. Look at our Zoom screen freezing on us right here in the 11th hour of life. Yeah.
It's froze on good things.
I'm gonna take a screenshot.
Look at your face. Mine's pretty good as well.
Is it frozen on Twitch then? Oh.
Yeah, it just picked back up on just my Zoom screen.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Guys, that was atmospheric. It was chilling. And I'll say the one thing I really appreciated about this one as we're closing us out, it was slow.
I love slow.
None of us were rushing into this. None of us were trying to make big splashes. Everything was on the periphery, and it was just slow. All of our intentional pauses, our stares at each other, the discomfort. Bucho nailed it. It was slow but menacing. Yeah, that's exactly it. Okay, guys, congratulations. You got a free talk back. We hope you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed this, absolutely go back. I will put this on the Symphony Discord, and I'll throw it on our social medias too. But Graham ran a very unsettling. There are horrible things happening in the ice cellar underground with the servants of a house, with the ice sonata last year. And then the very first year was... Babe, that was the guy fireworks one, right?
And that was,
Yes.
Yeah, and that went some very unsettling places, unpacking some childhood traumas and a mother figure that was deeply, deeply, deeply unsettling. So, by all means, if you enjoyed this brand of horror, the three of us apparently can get it off at least once a year successfully for our Symphony Sonata. Bucho, good looking out for the Lighthouse suggestion. Graham was right to run with it. That was absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
Thank you. We appreciate you guys. We hope you've enjoyed the Symphony. If you like us, back us on Patreon and have an absolutely amazing week and an amazing weekend, guys. Mwah. Bye, guys.